Hi everybody, welcome to my channel, Rooted in Joy. I'm Monica and I'm glad you're here. You know, I've been in the mental health field for over 16 years, and when I was really deep diving on why I wanted to start a YouTube channel, there was something that kind of came to mind. You know, the whole entire time I've been a therapist, I think like what's been in the back of my mind is how can I help instill joy in the person I'm meeting with. You know, when I'm with a friend, that's also my wish for them. And so that's been hard at times in the therapy world to try to help somebody get there. I mean, one, that may not be their goal, and two, you know, my story here I'll share in a little bit. You know, I didn't get in a therapy box, you know what I mean? Like, you know, okay, so what happened was about 20 years ago, you know, I was, you know, pursuing grad school. You know, I was single. Let me tell you, I was broke. I was really broke. You know, more than living paycheck to paycheck, I think. And, you know, I had two jobs. I was working at FedEx and O'Charlie's. O'Charlie's was a restaurant. It's not actually in business anymore, I don't think. But anyways, okay. So, I had actually taken time off from grad school. There was this program offered at the church I was going to at the time. You know, it was kind of talking about, you know, if you've had struggles with, you know, just serious. The name of it was SARA. It stood for Serious Abuse, Recovery, and Healing. And so I took time off from grad school to do this because, basically because, you know, if I was going into mental health and I felt like I couldn't regulate internally inside, how am I going to help anybody else? And so I needed to get things under control. And so the program had like a lot of prayer, and like learning to hear from God basically was part of it, or whichever. And so in where I was at, okay, so one day, you know, I was driving to FedEx, and you know, I was showing up for work, and you have to go through like this gate. It was by like the airport, but they had like free parking for the employees if you worked at FedEx. And so you had to go through this gate. So basically my car got through the gate, but then it like stopped. Just like that. You know what I mean? And I was just like, well, crap. What am I gonna do? Right? And it's just also happened to be the week. Okay, so during the time I was trying to get my taxes in order, and I went to H&R Block, and the guy had done my taxes, and then you know, when we swiped the debit card, so to speak, like he said it didn't go through the first time, so he actually ended up charging my card 3 times, and it was like $350 for each, because so anyway, I had, before this happened, enough money for my rent, but when that happened, he put me in the hole, and not only did I not have money for rent, but I had all these late fees. Not cool. I didn't have, so I was really broke. And you know, I was just at a low point in my life, you know, and I think probably because I was doing this program and it was centered on focusing on God, and you know, probably at the time I was experiencing a lot of spiritual warfare, I bet. But so anyway, like during the program, and I'll if you listen more to my channel, you'll get a more fleshed out version of my story as time goes. But to kind of make this short, you know, to kind of get to the point here, is basically God had given me a new name in this group, and it was joyfulness, you know. And you know, they were like, do you experience joy? And I'm like, no, I don't at all. You know, I don't, no, you know. You know, a little bit of background on my childhood. My parents did the best they could. They did. And so, on the outside, I didn't have like a bad childhood. I would say my dad was chronically depressed. He was always sad and always not feeling good. Always, I don't remember a time when he was in a good mood completely. Even when he was quote unquote having fun, he was still sad. I don't know if you know somebody like that, but that was my dad. And so I grew up with that, and I took that on as a kid. I was the oldest girl, and I think part of the reason why I became a therapist was, I wanted to, well, not only help myself but help my family. And so hence I'm depressed just like how he was, because I hadn't learned coping skills on how to deal with it at the time. And so anyway, no, I was not experiencing joy back then in my 20s. And so, but this is the moment when I did really experience joy. Like during the group, one lady had told me, hey, I think God is trying to heal you through song. And at the time, I felt like God gave me a song to sing in the morning, every time I would do my devotion. And so that was the song I had. And anyway, so when I'm praying, when my car broke down and I'm kind of like, okay, what am I going to do? I really at my end of the rope here. And I felt like God said, sing the song. And I was like, God, no. I mean, I really need to have a solution to my problem. How am I going to pay my rent? How am I going to get anywhere? How am I going to get to work? How am I going to do anything? Because I don't have any money or the resources at the moment. And he's like, sing the song. And I was like, okay, all right. And then, again, I'm kind of going back and forth with God, and I felt like a very firm sing the song. So I did. I sang the song in my heart, which was what it was called. And okay, yeah, my car's still broken down. I still didn't have any money or things like that. But when I sang that song, in that moment, in my car, I felt it. I felt God was there. God was there, even though I felt like my life was crap at the moment. And, he was showing me, he had been there the whole time. And that was a breakthrough for me, And so, yeah, even though you might not have seen, I'm sure other people didn't see a change for probably for a while. Some people didn't see a change for a while, but I knew that there was a difference inside. Knowing God was there for me through my trials, no matter what, made all the difference. And it did help me have a joy in my life. I did experience that, and I want to be able to help other people do that too. And so I hope through my story and resources that are going to happen on this channel, because I'm starting this channel and I don't know what's going to happen, but I know it's good. I know I kind of got a nudge, kind of like similar nudges I feel like I've gotten from God in the past. And what if I say yes, and what if I go out there? Because it's not my natural tendency to want to film myself, to want to put myself out there like I am, but I'm doing it because it's worth it. This lesson that I learned, it's been like what's kept me. Nehemiah 8:10, where it says, the joy of the Lord is your strength. It is. And so that's what I can say, and that's what I want this channel to help other people with. And so I hope you do subscribe. I hope you do choose to watch future videos, because I want to give more content to this. I want as many people as possible to experience joy and ultimately to experience God in their life. And so thank you for watching, and I look forward for more content and for you to reach out and let me know what you thought of this video. So thanks so much. Bye bye.